What's happening, folks? We live back with another episode of the SlugFest. It's your boy Gus. I got my boy Rich in the building. Rich, how you doing, big dog?
What's going on, people? What's up, Gus, man? You already know what it is, man. Another great day to talk boxing, baby.
Hey, all boxing, baby. We're gonna have some interesting shit pop up in the last few weeks. Got some interesting stuff coming up on the horizons. Today we'll be talking a little Shakur Mayweather and Tank beef. We're gonna jump into that Ryan Garcia, everything he's been getting into since the fight. You know, Ryan's kind of been he been cutting up out there. He capitalizing. So we're gonna talk about that. We got Bill Haney and Mayweather beef. You know, all types of beefs popping off today. We definitely want to talk about Devin Haney, where he's at. You know, what's next for him, and then we're gonna fall into that main event this upcoming weekend. We got a monster showdown with Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez. So we definitely going to talk about that. Cinco de Mayo is going to be lit. So right after this video, we're going to jump straight into it.
I'ma need an encore. Scream to your throat sore. Why you think I ain't the go for a king on his 10 toes? At the top, you on the 10th floor. It's over, holla 10-4. I'ma need an encore. My swag, you would die for. You can quit, but no, I won't. Diamonds on my neck, make the scandal let you lie for. Haters, they can die slow. I'ma need an encore. I'ma need an encore. I'ma need an encore.
Yo, we back. We at it. Hey, big dog. Not sure what you had going on the last few days, but man, Boston been crazy, man. Like bananas, dog. I've been hype all year long and enjoying it, you know, following up off of last year, man. I just can't believe this year we're getting what we're getting, because last year was an amazing year in boxing. It's like boxing is on its way back. And I got to credit some of the young boys on this too, man. How you feel about Boston right now, man, the state of Boston?
I mean, well, based off last year, I was sitting there thinking there's no way boxing could top last year's pay-per-views and matchups we got. But man, they starting this year off with bangers, and it's ending in the bangers all the way up to the summer. We got it, and it's like it's the golden era of boxing in this era, like for sure. We're getting the boys with the zeros and zeros. That's what we want to see. We want to see them O's versus O's. That's what we want to see.
Hey, you right about that, man. And talking about them O's versus O's, man, that's a perfect segue into what we're about to talk about. I'm not sure if you saw Shakur Stevenson and Tank going at it the last couple of days. Twitter, Tank kind of just took a shot at him, posted his last fight, you know, just started going at the young boy, man, talking mad trash. Both of these guys in the 135 division. So, I mean, this is a fight that the world wants to see. I would love to see it, but we're going to sit here. I want to ask you, do you think it's possible, man? You think it's some clout chasing going on here? You think this is something that, you know, we could see this year or maybe early next year? Like, what's your thoughts on exactly what's going on with these two cats?
I feel like it's a very probable fight based off the weight classes and what's going on. It's a probable fight. Like, is it a fight that's going to happen in the next year? Possibly. Is it a fight that's going to happen in the next 6 months? No, we know that for sure. But I feel like it's underlying issues in between the stuff. I kind of really feel like it's Floyd Mayweather sending fighters for Tank now, because it seems like he sent Ryan for Haney, because it seems like Mayweather's kind of having a hidden or underlying agenda with the Tank Davis situation and even the Devin Haney situation with how the sparring tape got leaked and other stuff like that. So I think I really think Mayweather's gassing Shakur up and sending Shakur for Tank, because if you were going to send somebody at 135 for Tank, honestly, right now with the way the division is looking, outside of Lomachenko, it would be Shakur. So I think that's what's going on, more than likely.
Hey, I mean, I'm with you on that, man. Mayweather kind of inserted itself into the drama. It seems like he's kind of leaning towards Shakur's side as far as, you know, being on his side, talking a little trash, you know, posting, we need this fight to happen. My issue with the whole thing, man, is just the timing of it. Both of these guys got fights lined up. The logistics just don't match up for them to be talking trash. It's like, Tank, I hope you're not overlooking Frank Martin, man. I mean, I know Frank
Great
He's not
point.
very accomplished. Exactly. He's not very accomplished so far, but I mean, I think that's a fight, man. You know, you're getting in there, and if you're going to overlook him and look for your next fight, I think you got another thing coming. As far as Shakur, you know, I'm not sure exactly who he got coming up, but I think he got a fight coming up in July, maybe another tomato can. Not exactly sure who that is, but either way, man, I think it's some clout chasing going on here for sure. Ryan just came out there, pretty much fooled the world. You know, I think he sold the fight itself, you know, created a whole new fan base for himself, even though he had a big backing already. And I think these guys are trying to capitalize a little bit off of that energy. If I had to guess, you know, they both got fights coming up, so maybe there's some promotion behind it. It just don't make that much sense to me why they popping off to each other at this point in time when both of them got fights, man. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like it's the Ryan Garcia effect, like you just said. That monkey see, monkey do. They're seeing Ryan do it, and then he accomplished the fight and actually defeating Devin Haney. So now they feel like that's the new formula for this day and age and era. I got to get eyes on me. I got to do all this extra. But at the end of the day, yeah, you can do whatever you want to get the eyes on. You got to get in there and get the job done.
Yeah.
So all this hoopla and stuff like that, I really do feel like it's underlying issues with Tank and Floyd. And Floyd hopes Frank Martin does take that O from Tank. I really feel like he's sending Shakur. Because why is Shakur talking to a man that's already got a fight contractually in the next 2 months? And then we already know how boxing goes. It ain't like y'all gonna fight 30 days after that, 60 days after that. So what? What is it for? Distractions, like you said, making sure Tank ain't focused on this worthy opponent in front of him. There's a lot of people underestimating Frank. I'm not underestimating the skill set. My belief in what Tank is just, I feel like Frank ain't that. But Frank is a talented boxer at 135. We're talking about the top of the top. At 135, Frank is right there with the Lomos. Damn sure is above a Cambosis in my book. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's basically how I'm saying it too. And another thing I don't know if people are actually taking a look at is that, you know, we've been talking about this side of the street, that side of the street for a bunch of years now. And I'm like, Shakur, I think you got one fight left, or you'll be a free agent right after this next fight. I'm not sure. It's you got 1 or 2 fights left with Bob, man. But at the end of the day, if you really, really want to make this fight, I mean, the PBC is right there for you to sign or you know, make a 2-3 fight deal, and you can guarantee I'm gonna get Tank Davis. But I'm gonna keep a close eye on that research, because if Shakur is not about to do business with Al Heyman or Jay Prince, for that matter. And just thinking about Jay Prince, man, I think him and Al Heyman actually have a history in the entertainment business before Al even came to boxing. So, and it's not a good history. You know, it's one where one of the two, if not both of them, envy each other for whatever reason. And I think that just throws another stone, another block in there so that the fight can't be made, or at least it's going to be a lot harder to make it. So for me, I think it's a bunch of clout chasing. So actions speak louder than words. You know, both of these guys are popping off, but when I see people actually moving to the other side of the street, or, you know, doing something contractually, like you said, that makes sense that the fight can happen, then I'll start to believe it. But yeah, I think they're trying to capitalize off the Ryan. Mayweather's, he's coming out of nowhere as soon as Haney lost. You know, I ain't heard the man speak and do interviews over a year. So, and all of a sudden now, the moment Haney lose, he jumped out there talking about doing interviews, hopping on live streams, talking about how he want to help him.
Yeah,
Floyd don't want to help nobody if he ain't getting no money out of the deal. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and that's gonna segue into our other topic.
Yeah, man. So that's how I see that playing out. But like you said, talking about Ryan Garcia, man, Ryan has been on fire. Ever since the fight, you know, this dude, if I gotta say one thing about Ryan, you know business, man. He know how to put butts in the seat. He know how to get his fan base going. And he just been capitalizing on it, man. I can't even hate on him, you know. I definitely picked against him with the fight, but as far as what he's doing from a business standpoint and how he's bringing his name up, I mean, he's right up there with Jake Paul right now, you know, coming out of nowhere. You know, Jake got a huge fan base, and I don't consider him a real boxer, but, you know.
Most of us
it is what it is.
He got a major backing, though. He got a major back.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll see more people supporting Jake Paul's boxing than Terrence Crawford's boxing. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is right now, man. So, yeah.
Hey, man. So, Ryan Garcia, like I say, the cat is on fire, man. He been out there with Coach Prime. I know you saw the video with him and Coach Prime. Dude got on a number 12 jersey, talking about, you know, he's about to get recruited, gonna be playing for the Buffs next year. I feel it though, man. I ain't gonna hate on him. Like I say, that's what's up, you know.
I'm a fan, but man, this stuff is outlandish, man. Next thing you know, they gonna say Ryan Garcia is gonna be the first boxer on the moon and other stuff like that. It's like, this man's everywhere, man. Like, but like you said, Gus, it's not a bad thing. It's the new age of promoting, and that plays into our last topic more into what Shakur is doing. He's seeing Ryan do all this stuff, but none of this stuff would matter if he lost. You have to get the job done. So, and that's what these other fighters need to understand. You can do these antics, but antics without work, it's just antics, man. Like, man, put the work in. So, but it's crazy seeing Ryan everywhere. I'm like, man, he's a household name right now. Honestly.
Hey, the kid been with Donald Trump. You know, Trump putting on a performance for Trump. He in there throwing speed punches and stuff, you know, putting on the show. I just knew Trump was gonna jump out there and say something like, yeah, Speedy Gonzalez, or something like that, you know. But you know, it was a dope video either way it go. And at the end of the video, you know, Ryan come out and say Trump for 2024. So I mean, that's good promotion for Trump as well. I ain't even gonna go ahead.
And to speak on that, now you know Trump is a big UFC supporter, and the whole Sean O'Malley and Ryan Garcia thing been going back and forth on Twitter. And with that whole interaction with Trump, I'm kind of leaning towards with the whole boxing world, wonder what's Ryan doing next. He might go into one of those fantasy fights with Sean O'Malley, man, after meeting Trump, because he's a big UFC supporter. Number one thing. So I kind of like played that part of that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it at all. But it kind of leads like he's going to go more toward the YouTube fantasy fight rather than go fight the next contender or continue in the boxing path. I don't know. But he's doing so much. I'm a fan, and I can't even predict what he's going to do next. I mean, it's Ryan Garcia.
Hey, that Sean O'Malley fight. I mean, I think it's definitely a possibility, but like I said, it's not something I want to see. I think if he needs to capitalize and go catch one of these other hot boxers, you know, if you're able to get two of them in a row, I mean, the sky's the limit. So I think you need to capitalize on that, you know, leave to Sean O'Malley. That fight will be there. Sean want to make some money. So if you holler at him a year from now, a year and a half from now, Sean's still going to take that fight. So I think you need to hold off on that, man.
Especially with the way boxing is going right now, I'm really done with the whole watching a UFC fighter fight the best boxer. Like, I'm really done with that fight. Like, there are different skill sets, different organizations for a reason. So I don't want to see someone go in handicapped and get dead dirty. Like, we've already seen the best in MMA, what they had to offer, and what Anthony Joshua did to that. So let's just move on with that. Let's keep it boxing. This is a great year already. Let's keep it all unification bouts, O's versus O bouts, stuff like that, man.
Hey, I'm with you 100%, man. Still talking about Ryan Garcia, though, man. I saved the best for last. I'm not sure if you heard that diss track, big dog, but I got to drop it for the people, man. Let them hear what's going on. Hey, this don't change that I'm a David Haney fan, but I can't lie, man. Ryan is rapping, B. He riding the beat. The song is straight, bro. So, I mean, I'm going to show him a little love with that, though. Dev's still my boy, though. But I'm showing him a little love. So I'm about to drop this track. And if y'all don't know Rich, you should do a lot of rapping. So I want him to give me a grade from 1 to 10 on what he feels. So here is the Ryan Garcia track.
They didn't think that I would win, but I won. They didn't think that I would win, but I won. I got in there and got the job done. I'm the best in the world, number 1. Got that Haney pack flowing in my lungs. Really gave that voice a beast, he my son. He was asleep on the ground, he did not respond. Called an ambulance.
Hey, run it one more time. Run it one more time. Run it one more
They
time.
didn't think that I would win, but I won. They didn't think that I would win, but I won. I got in there and got the job done. I'm the best in the world, #1. Got that Handy pack flowing in my lungs. Really gave that boy some beats, he my son. He was asleep on the ground, he did not respond.
Hello? Call the ambulance.
Call the ambulance, Bill. Hey, that's crazy.
Hey, that's wild, B. How you feel about it, dog? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts, man. Go ahead and break it down.
Man, beforehand, I was a big component with you, like saying, man, F the rematch. We don't need no rematch. But with the stuff Ryan's doing, man, you gotta let him run it back with you doing stuff like that, just to see if it's real, man. Cause it's outlandish, man. He's taking the troll to a different level. Yeah, you won the fight, but I want to see it again just because of that. Because if Haney ain't motivated off stuff like this is going on right now, I don't see how she can be motivated as a boxer. So I would love to see the rematch. I hope that's what this is leading up to and building. I really do. Because
hey, so what would you rank Ryan at right now versus today's rappers, man, based off of that little 25-second clip?
Oh man, I mean, is Ryan with J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake and all them? No. But them other guys out there, all them other little names, the Lil Uzi Verts and Lil Yachty's, man, I don't know, man. he came with it. He's speaking facts, but like I said, I don't want him to get too carried away, man. I feel like he's like the victory you got was a victory indeed, but you really accomplished nothing except taking Devin Haney 0. You didn't become a champion. You defeated a champion, but you been did that. It's kind of like it's bittersweet to a real fan like me. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, what is this? Like, you're doing like Jake Paul. Yeah, I can see him, but Ryan's like, bro, what is this diss track for? You're a boxer.
Hey, I think it was just Ryan being an asshole, but I'm all for the asshole move, boy. If you're gonna pull an asshole move, I mean, he got the trump card right now, so I mean, I support it, man. It's bringing the fans, it's bringing life to the sport. You know, I didn't think Ryan Garcia would be one of the guys doing that, but you know, I got to give credit where credit is due. You know, he's doing his thing, man, and the track was straight, bro. I like the beat. You know, the ad libs got me crying, boy. My man said, he said, I don't think Devin ain't responding. Hello. Hey, the ad libs got me tripping though, man.
Hey,
but,
man, now, man,
yeah,
a lot of it is this is Ryan Garcia putting his bodyguard staffs, the guys that's been protecting him, on because I'm blessed, highly favored, and more than likely this track right here, his bodyguards and people that's been protecting him right now, they're involved with it. The whole bodyguard that got into it with Bill and all that other stuff, he's involved with the music and stuff. So I feel like it's Ryan blessing people around him, creating a lane outside of what lane they're already in. Like, I'm paying you to guard me, but I'm gonna create this lane for you now. Now your name's out there. I'm Ryan Garcia, but niggas know what's his name, T-Rone or whatever his bodyguard. People know who he is now. And I mean, like, Ryan, that's great right there. That's like really creating avenues for your staff and everybody around you, because he's got so many eyes on him right now. It's like, I don't think boxing original fans understand how many eyes are on boxing right now. Like, it ain't even registered yet, but I'm telling you, it's gonna start. There's a lot of eyes on boxing. Them eyes would never looked at boxing 10 years ago, and they're all on boxing now. I love it.
You're right, man. Like I say, man, I'm giving them all the credit in the world. I'm loving what he's going through right now, but kind of piggybacking off of some stuff you was talking about a few minutes ago. It's like, you know, what are you going to do next? You putting the target on your back. I do think you're putting the target on his back, you know, which is going to make him more money in the end. So if he's able to come through with more victories and some more upsets, or, you know, just put on some big fights, it's going to be good for him. But at the same time, you got to watch out. Cats is going to be gunning for you now. You know, somebody else want to put you on a shirt now. They want to put you on a meme. You know, they want everybody to laugh at you. And I don't think it's going to be Devin Haney, like you were saying, you know, the rematch. it don't really make sense, you know. I would like it to as a fan. Would I love to see it? Hell yeah. I'd love to see him mix it up again, get back in there at 147. But just based on the landscape of how everything is, you know, Ryan didn't get a belt. I think if Ryan had snatched Devin's belt, I would feel like, yeah, let's get a rematch. But, you know, Devin still got everything at his disposal. You know, he still got Sandor Martin as mandatory. He got Teofimo. He got Matias. He got Cruz. You got people like Gary Russell coming up. So it's big fights for Devin to get back on track. That doesn't involve him having to fight Ryan Garcia right now. So
for nothing.
I'm cool with it.
You're going to fight him for no belt again. And even if you do win, it's just you just redubbing that. That's why I feel like, man, it doesn't matter. If it was for a belt on the line, I would want it a lot more. But there's nothing on the line except respect and pride. Okay, Ryan got you this time. Like I said, I love boxing and I understand. I can see the forest without looking at a tree. 2-3 years down the road, y'all see each other again. If both of them stay in boxing and this guy Ryan don't turn into an internet sensation and actually stays with boxing and stays with Derrick James, we'll see that fight again down the road, just like we'll probably see Tank and Ryan again down the road. But I just don't want Devin Haney to lose what Devin Haney is. Ryan Garcia is one of the better boxers out there between 135 and the 140 or 143 fake weight class, just like Tank. Devin Haney is one of them names too. So I don't want him to act, or people to act like he's not a top tier boxer. Like you can't. Devin Haney don't fall outside the top 10 or number 7 in the world because he lost to Ryan. Not at all. Not regardless if he kept the belt or whatever. He's still one of the better boxers because other guys can't do to Ryan what they could do. And maybe, possibly, me being a Ryan fan, weight drain and other stipulations. So I dare another boxer to come in there and try Haney like Ryan did. Y'all end up like Regis. Y'all end up like Regis, man.
Hey, yeah, you're right, man. I can't argue with nothing about that. I mean, I like what Derrick, I think he can bounce back. You know, I think he actually learned something. You know, he got bamboozled throughout the process. You know, he was believing one thing when really something else was true. So I think Ryan's corner, man, everybody had in his corner. You know, big ups to them because they did what they were supposed to do. But at the same time, I think Devin can bounce back. I think Bill Haney can bounce back. Staying right here, one thing I wanted to talk about and touch on was I see a lot of people talking about Devin needs somebody else in his corner. He needs to get rid of Bill. And for me, I got a problem with that. Only reason I say that. Now, if Devin came out and said, I want somebody else in my corner, cool beans. You know, go ahead and get whoever you want. You know, he's worked with Zab and Zab's pops in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came back in. But at the same time, man, I've watched some of the best trainers in the world, fighters get destroyed. Like Derrick James, you know, he had a come up just now, but his last three or four fights before that, he was on the downslide. So it's like, I want to give Bill Haney and Devin a chance to come back and see if they can correct some of the issues they had in the ring. Because that's about the only fault I have for Bill. From a promotional standpoint, he took his son from nothing to something. You know what I mean?
It's his son.
Took him down to Mexico.
It's his son.
And brought him back.
That emotional stuff. Of course, it's his son. It's not his homeboy, his fighter. It's his son. Come on, man. I mean, like that. But I don't know if you heard the news, but you know Devin Haney is with the Crump Gym now.
He with who?
Crump. He with the Crump Gym out of Detroit now.
Detroit. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, and Devin Haney's already running and jogging. Devin Haney's back. He's a champion, man. He's a champ. He took an L, but everybody else want to make like the L is more than what it is. It's an L. Cool. We get W's and L's, bro. Happens. Devin Haney's out there running, training. And I've heard rumors that he's with the Crump Gym now. Like they talking about switching trainers. Like no, keep Bill in your corner, but go get other boxing aficionados in your corner as well. So in that situation, when that fight happened and you had to make adjustments, Bill can't give you an adjustments on a highly experienced, quick fighter throwing a left hook, and he's catching you out of your jab because of the way your jab is going, your technique. Man, another fighter gonna sit there and adjust that. We've seen Floyd run the Tank's corner and let that man know, hey, bro, you're down. I don't know why you're boxing the way you're boxing. You're losing this fight on the scorecard. And adjust. You need that game, like you as a former linebacker. You watch another linebacker out there doing unnecessary stuff. He ain't making them. You need experience. So, hey, bro, go a little outside more. Play it towards that. And he don't have that with Bill. Bill's gonna motivate him because it's his father. Yeah, I'm gonna be hyped. My daddy behind me, trying to maybe bang. But my dad's not gonna give me advice and adjustments in boxing to be like, hey, look, this fighter is extremely better than you at this point, this aspect. Make this adjustment. And that's boxing is all about timing, punches, and adjustments, man, round by round. And I really feel like with him getting with the Crunk Gym, it's going to change Devin Haney because he's already a physical fighter. Devin Haney mauls people. He'll get on them and clinch, do all that. And once he learns how to fight from the inside and get dirty and rugged on that Tyson Fury stuff, we'll see results. We'll see results. I believe it, if that's true. But that's a rumor I heard, bro. I don't know how official that is at the moment.
And one thing we got to keep in mind too as well, I heard Zab talking about it a few days ago, and it really resonated. A lot of people are saying, like you were saying, bring somebody in, but you got to make sure that's somebody that Devin really trusts and he's going to listen to, because when he gets in a crunch time, he's been used to his father's voice. So, you might have I'm just throwing a name out there, Roy Jones next to him, but if he don't got that trust for Roy, he may not listen to him in the crunch time. It may not resonate, especially, well, let's not even say Roy. Let's just say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd was saying, hey, I'm the one that can help Dev out. I think I can, I would have been able to do something for him. But at the same time, I don't think Devin trusts Mayweather. You know what I mean? He's seen him jogging with Ryan. The sparring tape gets released. Mayweather ain't been nowhere around, but soon as after the fight, now he's coming out talking about all this support and stuff. So it's like there's no trust there for him to have Mayweather in his corner. So you got to watch out for that as well. But like I said, I'm not against him having a professional voice in the corner. It should help, but not always. Because I look at a fight like Deontay Wilder, since he's had Malik Scott, man. When I'm listening in on the corner at Malik Scott, he was a professional boxer. Malik telling Deontay, keep jabbing, keep moving. I'm like, no, bro, tell him to go crazy. It's time to go get it. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure it's the right voice in your corner as well.
I'm glad you brought that point up as examples of former boxers trying to tell another boxer or not really articulating what's going on. And that's like that. You're right about that. Like, you can't automatically say I'm gonna help you fight better because I used to fight too. That don't make you a good teacher because you was a good student.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you on that aspect. But if he's going with the Crump Gym, Devin Haney's style with his skill set, jabs, already being a bigger fighter with certain but if he would have been at that Crump Gym, he would have nullified Ryan because he would have got dirty. And he was already clinching up and holding on Ryan already. You just needed to learn how to do damage, calculate shots, and keep it a dirty fight. It's two ways he could have beat Ryan. Box him or box dirty. And we've already seen dirty boxing on Deontay Wilder with Fury. Fury tried to box Wilder and still got hurt damage-wise. But when he dirty boxed him, it was a fight that really wasn't that close because it was dirty boxing. I'm nullifying certain stuff. So if Dev's with the Crunk Gym right now, I love and support that, man. But I don't want his next fight to be a rematch with Ryan. I'd rather him go ahead and go fight Sandor, do your mandatory. Then after Sandor, big fight. Whether it's T.O., Sabri, Eastside, however it goes, man, with the 140 champions. In my book.
Hey, I'm with you on that, man. Like you say, the Crunk Gym should help him out, that unorthodox defense style that you don't see a whole lot. It's only select fighters that actually show that. So
and implement
that's definitely a monkey wrench he can throw in there, man. So
with his
I like that. I haven't heard it
already. With him already being a boxing technician and throw that dirty stuff in there, that clinch game, that up close. And Ryan, man, when they was clinching, Ryan was throwing them. That's how Haney wasn't really throwing shots. When they was clinched up, Ryan was trying to hit him off breaks and all that stuff. That Crunk Gym is gonna bring that aspect to Haney, and he's gonna be even more dangerous than already is, man, in my book.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to see how it works, but I like the thought process behind it, and hopefully it pans out, man. But like I say, man, I'm still a Devin Haney fan, but at the same time, man, I'm showing Ryan all the love, man. He went out there, shocked the world, and he capitalized. And I'm hype about it, man. So segueing straight along, man. I think that's a good segue. Mayweather, man, like I say, he been in a lot of beef, man. He been, popping the gums to everybody. He hopped on, I want to say it was Fight Hype the other day. And
yeah.
Talking
Fight
to the
Hype
host.
recorded the live stream. Fight Hype recorded the live stream. That's what happened. But it was an Instagram live stream between him and Bill, and Fight Hype and other boxing channels recorded it, which is smart as well. But nobody probably knew it was gonna go left the way it did. I mean, that whole Instagram live went left, man. With what they were talking about.
Yeah, it was actually Zab Zuda and Zab. It was only Zab, Floyd, the host, and one other cat, and I can't think of who it was. But they were just talking about the fight at first, and I want to say the host brought up Bill Haney's name. He was like, I think Bill in the comments. So they ended up bringing Bill in, and from there, man, like you say, fireworks. Bill showed no respect, no love. Bill showed when he talked that street stuff, he back it up. That's one thing I gotta give him. He stand on his square. When he say something, he show his faith, and he gonna keep popping. He gonna keep supporting his son. He gonna say what he say. And I don't know what happened between him and Mayweather. I can speculate based off of certain things we've seen, but I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. If Bill and Devin feel a certain way, they have a reason on why they feel a certain way. Floyd, hell of a boxer. I always support him as a boxer, but other than that, they call him money for a reason. If he ain't capitalizing on you from a money standpoint, I don't think he's really in your corner until he's gonna make a couple of dollars off of you. Look at taking him.
Man, I was on Fanon Boxing's channel the other day, and I was disrespecting the Haney. I was saying fuck Bill, fuck Devin. But then after the live, and I watched it, Floyd really is a clout chaser and a belittler. Because as the argument went on, Floyd said, I'm 50-0 under the big lights. I can help your son. Like, you can say that after an L. But listen, Floyd, there's plenty of other great boxers that are better than you in my book that have taken L's, several L's. Mm-hmm. So let's stop that. And then the street stuff, and Bill said some real stuff in my book outside of boxing and everything. He sat there and said, Floyd, everyone around you is doing bad. From your daughter to everything else. Everyone around you is doing bad except you, Floyd. And you like to brag and boast that. Bill brought his son up. Bill built Devin Haney. That's his son. You can't say that's Derek James' work. That's Freddie Roach's work. No grading, that's Bill's work. And anybody came up short against Ryan, but get out of here, man. Like Floyd. I don't even know how to really think about it, because it's like, bro, you're not doing nothing for boxing, bro. You say you're here for the youngins. I'm here to bring them up, baby. Bro, you're not doing nothing but playing like an ex-female in a relationship with a dude in between what's going on, man. That's what he's doing. Boxing is his ex. And now he sees the Ryans, the Shakurs, the Tanks. And now he don't went out there and try to build a relationship with these young fighters who are the faces of boxing now. Let's stop saying face of boxing. There is faces of boxing now. We got a Mount Rushmore now. I ain't saying they're great like Ali, but we got the Devin Haneys, the Ryans, the Tanks, the Furies, there's so many, the Canelos, there's so many faces. And Floyd just in the mix of all this stuff because you tried to sign every last one of these fighters to your promotion that you're into it with or not into it with, or even promoting their dick ride. So, and the only reason you got behind Ryan is because you wanted him to beat Devin. Not because you believed he could beat Devin. You wanted him to beat Devin because of the relationship. So, Floyd, I give all props to Bill, man. I take back all that fuck the Haney shit. I respect what Bill's doing. And Bill built Devin. Not saying Devin's skill set ain't to be acknowledged, but the Floyd stuff is straight hoopla, man. Like, he is
Hey, bro. That's how I felt about it, man. Like I said, I love Bill and what he does for Dev, Inside the ring, give him all the critiques you need. He definitely needs to big up that. But outside the ring, promotional-wise, protecting his son, getting him in front of all of the big networks and providing, a way for him to be able to make money. Because Dev, when Dev speaks, he can be funny and a little entertaining, but Bill is the show. And, you know, Bill is like the present day Don King, man. And I don't see people giving that same energy to Teofimo's dad. You know, Teofimo's dad rubs people the wrong way all the time, talk trash. You know,
great example.
We got J-Lo. You know what I mean? He be popping up the same way, but I don't see people showing the disrespect that they show to Bill when you know, people like his pops.
They did. It's all because of the loss. When T.O. lost to Cambosis, oh man, we heard it all. It's a lot. And then, like you said, that plays in the part what you said about the way the casuals do great fighters that take an L. Like, come on, man. And it's just too much in boxing, man. It's too much, man. Too much to deal with, too much to worry about. And then, like I said, Mayweather and Bill, Mayweather, well, I already know you have a hidden agenda, man. You got certain fighters you want to win. You got certain fighters you want to lose. Let's stop playing like that's not the truth.
Oh, yeah.
And you betted against Devin, and you won. Congratulations. But don't say that he's not going to be nothing in his career. Not like, come on, it's not over. The Haney show ain't over. Get out of here, man. Like that. Just like the Ryan show wasn't over after the Tank loss. And now it seems like...
And there's definitely proof into what you're saying. I mean, like we say, we see this interview with him and Bill and Fight Hype. They're all on there going at it. People were picking sides, and most people were leaning towards Mayweather. Then a couple of days later, we hear Mayweather stuck in Dubai, and it's based off of, you know, money issues, not paying people. So it's like that quick you get proof of the kind of guy that Mayweather really is. And even Tank chimes in and gives his 2 cents on it. So it's like, the proof is right there. Mayweather's all about the money, all about his stuff. And I mean, that don't take away from his boxing legacy, but when people put this out here like, you know, he's really out here to help people. No, he's out here to help himself. And in the process, if he can help you, then yeah, he'll get that done as well.
To touch on the subject of you talking about Mayweather stuck in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, all that stuff is stemming from either gambling bets or investments that went sideways. And it's not like 100,000 here, nothing. It's millions of dollars owed to them over there right now. And they're trying to downplay that, but they're not going to tell you can't go nowhere, bro, for a $10,000 fine, $100,000 fine, $10 million fine. You're Floyd Mayweather. Something's going on, and it's an underlying issue. And I think that's karma from what happened in the days prior to that. Because, Floyd, that stuff was, you stepped over the line boundary and all that stuff, and you showed your hand. And now you're getting dealt that stuff back in life. Hopefully it ain't nothing super serious, but I've heard things over there in Dubai like it's money wise, situational wise, and them treating it as if Floyd scammed people out of millions or certain individuals over there inside, and they don't play certain things. So that's why Tank was out there reaching out and trying to get. So I don't know if it was trolling or what, trying to get other people to come. I guess put money in, talking about can we get them home by Monday. Or something like that. But
hey, bro, that was definitely trolling because Floyd posted the video of Tank Jansen in his little drawers or whatever he had on. And, you know, he was looking a little suspect. I ain't gonna lie, he was looking suspect. So I think he was trying to come back, you know, have a little comeback for Floyd. But Floyd definitely got him.
I just think that's crazy for you to post. I just think it's crazy for him to post all them things and do the Bill Haney interview. And now Bill Haney's a Muslim. And you was disrespecting him, man. And now you're in a Muslim country. And you need a friend now. If you call Bill, I guarantee it'd be a lot easier to get out of that Muslim country with a Muslim accessory. But whatever, man. Like, that's... It is what it is, man. Hoopla.
Hey, straight up, big dog. I'm with you on that. So I think we already touched on Devin in the rematch. You know, we both feel they should move on. So let's jump straight into the meat and potatoes of what we got going on today, man. Like I say, this weekend, fire fight coming up. You know, a decent undercard, but a fire fight coming up. We got Canelo, Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. This is Cinco de Mayo. Is going down in Las Vegas. This is gonna be a banger, man. You know, I like Jaime. I don't love him, but I like him. And I think he can make something happen. So let me know what you think about that fight, and you know what you think about Jaime and Saul right now.
I mean, to be completely honest, 6 months ago, I didn't know who Jaime Munguia was if you brought him up in boxing. I couldn't tell you what weight class he was or what he was doing. But I peeped him, watched a couple of his fights. He's got a great Mexican style, certified chin. He's a 6'1" Mexican too. His reach is nothing too special at the weight class he's at, but with the fighter he's fighting, man, Canelo, I feel like Canelo is gonna really expose him because he gets hit way too much. I don't know if that's the confidence in the chin or the lack of defense, but he gets hit a lot, and I don't know if he's gotten hit by a fighter of Canelo's capability yet. So it could go 12 though, because I've seen Triple G take a Canelo punch. So maybe Jaime can too as well. And if it goes 12, I feel like Jaime has a better shot because of his punch output. He don't stop working. He don't stop throwing. And Canelo takes rounds off. At least now, this not the 10-year ago Canelo, but this Canelo takes rounds off, pick spots. And with Jaime's output and his chin and aggressiveness, he could pull this out in the 12th rounder. But I feel like Canelo should stop him before the 10th round.
Yeah, man, breaking it down, I'm gonna go fighter by fighter, man. Jaime, he's coming in at 43-0. He does have 34 KOs, so he has the power. I heard about Jaime a while back. I've seen a couple things on him, but the consensus on Jaime was that he was being protected. They weren't putting him out there in front of the big dogs at 68. And I think he was started at 160. So he was being strategically moved around. So not that he didn't have skill, but my issue with Jaime is going to be how battle tested is he. He did fight John Ryder, who Canelo fought, I want to say, last year. And he had a rough going with him, John Ryder put up a good fight against Canelo. I think Jaime actually had a better performance. It was his last fight, and he ended up stopping John Ryder 7th, 8th round. I want to say somewhere in that range.
Whoa! I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that matchup, that triangle theory, bro. I didn't know about that one. That's great information right there. Like, wow, that could play a part.
Yeah, he knocked him down twice. Gave him a good fight. He's fought Sergey Divanchenko. I think you said you was commenting on that a little earlier, how that was a dog fight, but I think Jaime pulled it out at the last minute because he got a 12th round knockdown, and that might have got him the dub. But you say Jaime, very talented. He's not that old, a young guy. I want to say, let me see how old he is. He is 27 years old, so he's still very much in his prime. Yeah, he's a young guy. He just has a bunch of fights, so he was fighting a bunch of tomato cans early.
That's crazy. That's crazy that he's 27 years old and has 42 professional fights. That's crazy right now because we're looking at the top dog. That's 25 now between the Ryans, the Tanks, and the Devons. Them guys have less than 27 fights. Wow.
Hey, they do, but you got to look at that two different ways. The young cats, we know they got a lot less fights, but they've actually fought better fighters than him. So, it's a plus for the experience, but at the same time, if you're fighting C-level fighters, B-level fighters, it's going to be a difference when you get in there with Saul, man. Like you say, offensively.
I ain't understand that, but
offensively, I love what Jaime can do.
Based off your analysis, talking about how Jaime stopped John Ryder and Canelo couldn't get him out of there, even though I feel like that wasn't the same Canelo that fought the Charlo. He wasn't as in shape. He didn't take the fight as serious. I feel like that might play a part to whereas how hard does Jaime really hit against the top? We'll see.
Hey, I like Jaime's offense, man. Like I say, he got a mean left hook. We were just talking about Ryan Garcia. He has the same tool. His left hook is dangerous. That's what he wants to hit you with. It's quick. He's got a lot of offense, but you touched on it a little bit ago. You don't know if he's just a dog fighter who's like, hey, I'm going to take some punches to give some, or if he has lapses in his defense. I'm going to say he has some lapses. And, we know what Canelo can do if you got some lapses. It's going to be, can you take more than I can take? And looking at it right now, I would have to lean more towards Canelo. Talking about Canelo Alvarez, his last few fights, he's had Jamel Carlo, John Ryder, Triple G, Bivol and Caleb Plant for his last 5 fights. The only
Wow.
loss in there was the
look,
Bivol
you can
fight.
take that 5-fight. You can take that 5-fight resume and put a man in the Hall of Fame right there. In this era in boxing, the way these best ain't getting in the man. Listen, man, that's. Hey man, like you said, Gus, I'm gonna go with the safe bet is Canelo. Like it's Canelo because I don't think Jaime he's not. Canelo's boxing IQ is going to take advantage of what Jaime is as a fighter because he's seen stuff like you before. He's seen better than you before. So, but I just feel like if it goes 12, Jaime's output, he could win it off points. He really could. If any fighter could beat Canelo off points, it damn sure could be Jaime Munguia, Mexican style. It damn sure could be there.
Hey, I mean, Jaime got some stuff going for him. I mean, when you look at the actual fighters' makeup, Canelo's 5'8". I think Jaime is about 6 foot, so Jaime's gonna have to reach. He got the youth on the side. He should still be hungry. He's getting in there with Saul, so we gotta hope that Saul's not on the downside from a mental standpoint. He's been through wars, man. A lot of battles. He made a lot of money. And, if we look at somebody like Deontay Wilder, we question his dog now because he made the money. He's been in the dog fight. So Canelo's kind of getting in that same range where you might want to start questioning. But like I say, leaning on how you leaning, I would lean towards Canelo in this fight. I think he's going to dig deep. Jaime is going to have his offensive moment. But when you take him in them deep waters, and he start working him to the body, and he start beating him and beating him and beating him, I think he's going to break him down, kind of similar to how he did Caleb Plant. I mean, Caleb Plant had a hell of a game plan. He was boxing him, he was touching him up, but it's like you got to do that for 12 rounds. 6 rounds won't do it, 8 rounds won't do it. He's going to keep coming. And,
sure.
I think eventually Canelo is going to snap into it, and I got him stopping Jaime at some point in time in this fight.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that. That's more likely. I think there's a 90% chance Canelo stops Jaime just because his style and his relentlessness and the lack of him not having the defense. Like you said, I felt like it was more like he felt like I can take him. But you say it is still labeled as a lack of defense. You're not supposed to get touched like that, son. I don't care how strong your chin is, man. You can't keep it. But so if you do that with Canelo, you're gonna go to sleep. You're gonna go to sleep or you're gonna get hurt, and then he's gonna pounce on you. So it's going to be a good Mexican fight. I love it, though, man, because I know that both their styles, there's not going to be a dull moment in this fight. Not going to be a dull moment.
Hey, so talking about Canelo and how many fights he's had to look exactly, he's 60. He has 2 losses and 2 draws. So this will be his, 65th fight. How do you feel about Canelo as far as his dog and his will at this point in time in his career?
I feel like it's still there, man. Canelo's only 32 years old. Canelo's younger than a lot of the other big names in boxing, the other top fighters. And that's what another thing, like Canelo and Jaime ain't that far apart in age. Hell, Canelo and Jaime is closer than Canelo and Crawford, or either right there, because Crawford's about 38. Like, so Canelo just might be old in boxing years, but I think a lot of it's been him learning his boxing IQ. You think you'll get in there with Canelo and he's never seen what you're going to give him, you're out of your mind. Anything you give Canelo in that boxing ring, he's seen, because he's been in there with Floyd and other top numerous fighting Triple G. He's seen it all before. So, Jaime, you're young. You might have some dog in you, but Canelo, his IQ, he's going to pick him apart. Once he reads him and surveys what Jaime's doing, it's over. It should be anyway.
All right. I got you, big dog. So, one more time for the people, this will be the last time we talk to them before the fight actually happened. Give me your breakdown on exactly how you think it's going to happen and when you think he's going to win.
Well, round 1 is going to come out. Both fighters probably testing each other, doing that stuff. Second round, third round, more of the same, maybe a little bit more offense from both ends. But 4th, 5th round, we're going to start seeing the Mexican dog come out. Jaime's going to be super aggressive, pushing forward. Canelo's going to be counter-punching and pushing forward as well, picking spots, picking shots, and eventually ends up stopping Jaime because Jaime is going to keep coming forward, whether he's getting beat up or not. And I just feel like Canelo's going to stop him. But that's my final prediction. Canelo's going to stop him before the 9th. Stoppage before the 9th. 8th round stoppage. Canelo.
Hey, not a bad analysis, man. I definitely could see it playing out that way. I mean, mine is pretty similar. They'll have their fill out round. I think Jaime is going to get aggressive sooner than Canelo. Try to put him on. Well, he ain't gonna really be able to put him on the back feet, but he's gonna try to win, putting that front foot forward and try to control the fight, have it at his speed. The question's going to be, can he take that punch? And I think early on, he's going to be absorbing it. He is the bigger guy, going to absorb some of them. But once we get into the later rounds, you get around the 7th, 8th, 9th round, he's going to start wearing down. I think he's going to get on that bike at some point, start backpedaling. He is Mexican, so if he stays in there and keeps banging, I won't be shocked. But like I said, the guy hasn't really been in there with a true dog. So for that reason, I think Canelo can chase him up out of there. And like you say, around that 9th, 10th, 11th round, I think he's just going to start barraging them, and he's going to end up stopping them, or the ref's going to stop the fight at some point in time later in this one.
I feel like it's going to happen, man. Jaime may be a great fighter of this era, but Canelo is a Hall of Famer, proven, legacy, iconic fighter of boxing. So, yeah, he's like you said, when Canelo puts that foot down in 9th and 10th, 11th, and he's going for the finish. With Jaime's style, wow, good luck, man. Good luck. But we'll see. We'll see what type of Canelo shows up. But, I mean, Canelo's been dominating in his last couple performances, man. Outside of the John Ryder, when we was expecting him to get him out of there. Outside of that, he's been dominating, man. And I feel like this should go the same way as well.
Hey, you probably spot on with that, man. But like I said, it's a hell of a fight coming up. Let's talk about the undercard a little bit. It's some familiar names on there. We've actually got two guys at 147 who, in my opinion, they've been strategically dodging boots, but they are on this card. And with Crawford already announcing his August 3rd card, which is a lit card as well, I assume those belts are about to be dropped all over the place. And I want to say Mario Barrios is going to be in line for one of those title shots. Emmanuel Stanionis is going to be in line for one of those title shots. And Mario Barrios, Maidana, I'm not sure if you remember, this is Maidana's younger brother, the one that had the battles with Floyd, had the battle
the one that knocked
Adrian
out
Ball. Yes, sir. Battle AB Dalton. This is his younger brother fighting Mario Barrios. So I know you know Mario, but just based off of that, and and a little background on his brother, how you think that this might be a good fight or not?
Oh, I mean, it's probably gonna be a good fight, but hands down, I got a lot of respect, and I put Mario Barrios on up there with the top tier young boxers of this era, man, because of what he's done, who he's fought, his resume, man. I got Barrios dominating Madonna. I mean, like, I understand what your pop did stuff, but Mario Barrios is battle tested. If you could ever have a battle tested fighter in this era, straight like that, and he's talented too as well. So I'm gonna give him the nod on that, man. I like Mario Barrios. I'm a little secret fan, even though he's taking losses. But man, I'm telling you, man, he's gonna be one of them ones in about 3-4 years. He's going to be one of the ones you don't want to be matched up against. That's how I feel. But I love him, man. I feel like he should come out with the W against Fabian Madonna.
Yeah, man. Mario Barrios, like you say, he's definitely an up-and-coming, one of the better young fighters. He just happened to run in the tank. And then, Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman last from the past. I was at that fight, Thurman was hitting him with some mean shots, but I can't even lie. It was definitely some heavy body shots, some punches. But one thing about it, Mario Barrios, he seems to get better with moving up in weight. He's been able to carry that weight, still has punching power. And like I say, they're lining him up to get a belt right now. So I do favor him versus Maidana. I think Maidana has a loss. I did see him fight one time before. Not the same guy as his brother, but he's pretty talented. But I favor Mario Barrios in this fight for sure. And that'll be at 147. I think right now no belts on the line, but like I say, with Crawford making that announcement, I wouldn't be shocked if they swooped in at the last minute and tried to either make this some type of interim fight, or if it was actually for one of those belts.
Yeah, I can see something like that playing a part.
Yes, sir. The next fight, man, Brandon Figueroa. I'm very familiar with him. I've seen him fight a couple times. He fought my boy Stevie Fulton Jr. That was a dog fight. Figure was actually a bigger, 122-pounder. He moved up to 126 now, I want to say. But, he's a bigger guy in that division. He's a little bit taller. Most of the guys in that division are very short, a little bit more rangy and long, and he's rugged. He'll get in and fight on the inside. He had a dog fight with Stevie Fulton that was supposed to mix it up a second time, I want to say, but Fulton ended up getting that new way fight. But nonetheless, Brandon Figueroa, he's nobody bitch. He's definitely got some hands on him. He's a force in boxing. Like I say, he's a bigger guy. I'm not as familiar with the Jesse Magdaleno. Not sure who he is. I might have seen him fight, but just can't really put a name with a face right now. So for that reason, I probably would lean toward Brandon Figueroa being a bigger guy, a smaller weight class, and he usually has a lot of success of getting to his fighters.
On this fight right here, I'm gonna go with the Medellino because if I'm not mistaken, Brandon Figueroa was one of them left hook knockouts from Ryan Garcia. A fantastic highlight first round knockout. So based off what I see, if this is the same Figueroa, I remember, I'm gonna go with Jesse.
Nah, I don't think that's him. I don't think that's him, folks.
You sure? I think he got knocked out by Ryan at 135 and moved down. I think that's what happened.
No, this dude was at 122 at one point in time, at 126. I don't think he's ever came that high in the weight. He was just fighting Fulton a year and a half ago at 122.
Yeah, Ryan knocked him out like 4 or 5 years ago, though. And Brandon Figueroa, bro, Ryan Garcia knocked him out, man. First round. I'm
gonna look it up. It's a lot of Figueroa, so you probably got him. Another Figueroa.
Man, ain't no way.
It is. I know it's a few Figueroas. So I'm gonna look it up real quick and let's just see. But if I'm thinking, I'm thinking about the right guy. Maybe I'm not. Let me see. But I remember. I'm looking at his box right now, so he's 24-1-1. Beat Mark Maxwell. Yeah, this is the guy that fought Stevie Fulton. So yeah, he didn't fight Ryan Garcia. That's another Figueroa. His last fight. So
maybe
yeah,
I'm
Mark Maxwell.
What's the other name? What's the other name you say with Ryan? When you said Ryan was ducking Haney and he went and fought that mandatory. What was the name?
Oh no, that was he went and fought Emmanuel Tagu. And he fought Javier Fortuna.
I'm confused, man. I'm confused. I'm sitting there thinking him, but outside, I don't know who Brandon Figueroa is then, man. So I don't really know. So I'm just go with Jesse on this one, just because I ain't like his name. It sounds like a name that was knocked out by Ryan Garcia. So I'm going to go with Jesse.
So I'm going to give you a couple of stats on him. I mean, he's fighting at, 126 pounds. And he's 5'9". So I mean that's right up there with Ryan Garcia from a height standpoint at 126 with a 72-inch arm reach. So he's a big guy at that division, massive for
he lost. Did he lose to Stephen Fulton Jr.?
Yeah, he lost by majority of the division.
Okay.
He beat Luis Nery. Nery's about to fight in New Way in about next week, in the next 2 weeks. So he's definitely battle tested. He has power.
Yeah, man. Like I was mistaking him. I was thinking he was somebody that got knocked out by Ryan, so I was already picking against him. I already had him in it, but we'll see. I'll check him out a little later.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. Probably talk about it after the fight and see how that goes. But I'm gonna go with Brandon on that one. And then the last fight on this card, another guy who's at 147, who's been, steady on this, man. I like him. I've seen him fight. He definitely has a mean jab. He's got power in both his hands. He's a flat-footed fighter. But for whatever reason, he was supposed to fight Virgil a year or two ago. They had it set up. Virgil, I think, couldn't make the weight, so they stopped that. there's been several fights, several people he's been linked to. You know, he's been linked to Earl Spence being the mandatory for Earl. A lot of big fights, and for whatever reason, they just don't come to fruition for him. So I definitely want to see Stanionis in there. Not as familiar with the Gable Maestre guy he's fighting, so I'm gonna lean towards Emmanuel Stanionis. And another key point I want to bring up with Emmanuel Stanionis and Mario Barrios being on this card, I think it's significant because, like I was talking about earlier, with Crawford moving up, he's going to drop those belts or be stripped, however they go about it. But I think both of these guys, Mario and Emmanuel Stanionis, are in line for title shots, and you know, they're going to be linked to each other. Or eventually, within the next 2 or 3 fights, they'll be fighting each other in probably a unification bout. And the odd man out is going to be Jaron Ennis. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I was getting ready to answer that afterwards. Like, I was like, are you familiar if this was going to be, if them 2 fights between Mario's fight and Stanionis, or them interim fights, or like those are title interim fights? More than likely, right? So, I'm not
100%.
If it's not title fights, then it has to be interns because they're fighting for challenging Crawford, whichever respective stuff, more like that. But yeah, I was just trying to make sure of that because if I feel like this Mario Barrios and the Stanionis fight is just like hoopla before the Jaron Ennis and the Crawford fight, because at the end of Mario Barrios and Stanionis' fight, and if they both got the belts, like you said, more than likely they'll end up fighting. And then Jaron's going to get that 147 unification like he wants. Now that he's teamed up with the Saudis and Eddie Hearn and all them, he's on that side.
Just to look it up real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to go ahead and tell you, I looked it up, and this is the WBC interim world welterweight, so it is an interim bout that Mario Barrios in, so I'm going to assume Emmanuel Stanionis will be the same. So, yeah, it looks like they're lining them up to get these title shots. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. So we can defer off this. If Mario wins and Stanionis wins, they're going to be fighting within the next 6 months, 7 to 8 months. And then we'll figure out whether Jaron's going to move up, fight Crawford at 154, or stay down and unify and become undisputed, fight Mario Barrios or Stanionis. So, yeah, I like how this is playing out, man. I like how boxing is straightening everything out, man. I love it, man. So that's good news to me to know that this is interim. This is the know, like, okay, we're the next man in line. Either fight us to unify, undisputed, or whatever, or move divisions. So I'm glad this is happening right now. And then, like I said, we're getting Crawford on the 3rd, so we know he's no longer going to get 147. He's gonna get stripped once he fights August 3rd. They're gonna strip him. Oh, they might strip him before.
I mean, like you said, man, I like the fights. I like the way they moving. It's possible.
Real like it.
But like you said, I like the fights, man. I like the way they moving and stuff. But my big question is, I just hope at the end of this that Ron Dennis isn't scrambling and people are ducking them and move up. Hopefully he can move in a strategic way. Eddie Hearns can kind of move in a way to where maybe he'll do heavy lifting, and then I'm gonna swoop in, take the glory, and then right after that, go ahead and move up, because I don't see too many fights at 47 for Jaron at this point in time. Now, there's some guys that come up from 40, but you know that's a waiting game. I mean, you got Conor Ben out there. That's probably the only name I would like to see him. But you know, Conor Ben, he's always got some controversy behind his name. You never know if he's even going to get in the ring. So I don't see Jaron at 147 too long, but, you know, some interesting fights. If he's able to get Barrios or Stanionis in the ring, I favor him to win that fight. But I think it'll definitely be some fireworks either way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, you're assuming that's going to come down to politics in the last end when it comes to Jaron. You know, yeah, I feel you on that. It could be, but like I said, hopefully the Saudis and their existence in boxing is being that extra promoter that's not a promoter. I feel like it's really justifying a lot of fights that wouldn't happen 10 years ago. We would not have seen half of these fights 10 years ago. Like, really, man, we really would have. We wouldn't. Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker's. We're getting across the pond fights, and then we're getting the number ones and the 135s, the 130s, the 147s, 154s fighting each other. That wouldn't have been happening 10 years ago in boxing.
Yeah, so basically the Saudis have been like a liaison to bring together the different sides of the street. You know, we've been hearing different sides of the street for so long, and it's like the Saudis are in there offering, I guess, so much money and making it so sweet for the promoters, for the actual networks, and for the fighters themselves. It's like, hey, this deal is too sweet to turn down. So in that aspect, I love it. You know, I just hope that they can have a balance between where these fights are going to be. I know some of them are going to be in Saudi Arabia, but what I don't want to happen is a couple of years from now, 80% of the fights are in Saudi and we in the US. So hopefully we get a good balance. But I do like the fact of them coming in and you know, making it happen, because I want to be able to go to the fight. You know, I'm going to Vegas. I'm planning on going to Vegas this year and catching me a good fight. So
yeah,
you know, leave a little bit for the States.
I ain't going to Dubai. I ain't going to Dubai for no fight, man. You can't drink down there, nothing, man. Like it's like it's cool, man. But it's like, man, if we did go, we got to watch the fight and leave. We got to get on a private jet and get up out of there, because man, you can't do nothing down around that way, man. It's like, wow, I can't enjoy myself at all. But outside of that, man, it is great what they're doing for boxing, man. Like you said.
Hey, he did feed us a bone as well. You know, this first fight, that lit card is coming up that we'll do a deep dive into in the future. But I mean, he put that first card in Los Angeles. The card in LA, so you know that's the bone. He went ahead and fed the Americans a bone with.
Yeah, I mean, if I was on the Saudis team, I would have been like, if we're gonna do our first fight in America, I damn sure don't want Terrence Crawford to headline it. That's not what I'm doing in America, man. That's what they need to understand. I mean, that's just me. Damn sure ain't doing that. But okay, you loaded it up. You loaded the card up to where it's like, ain't no way you can't watch. So, yeah.
Hey, and that's another thing too. I'm glad you kind of brought that up. I mean, from a promotional standpoint, if let's just say, let's use the Garcia and Devin Haney card. I mean, if you had Crawford fighting Madamov and then you had a undercard like that, of course, yeah, that thing's not selling, because you know you ain't got no household name there. But like you said, they stacked the card to where, I mean, I think this is going to be big numbers, though.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's actually going to, how do you feel about with it doing big numbers? You know, it's going to feel like, you know, the bad bitch at the club. You already know he's going to come out like, hey, we've sold this many pay-per-views. But really, it was based off of the rest of the fights that were on that card, in my opinion, and not the Terrence Crawford. But he will have, you know, a leg up.
Yeah, I mean, that's Crawford. That's like, man, that's like if Crawford got on there and bragged because you was on the same card as Canelo, Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua, and you brag about pay-per-view. But, dude, you didn't. That's not your name getting them buys, man. Get out of here. And you got Andy Ruiz, Andy Cruz on that card, Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz. Bro, I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, you're respected in boxing accomplishment, but it's not your face that's bringing the buys to that card. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's the Mexican fighters. It's Big Andy. We won't see where he's at. It's Virgil. It's Tim Tszyu. A couple of Crawford fans or whatever and stuff. But outside of that, like, your fight is not the fight to watch. We're not buying the pay-per-view to watch you fight Buddy you're fighting. We're buying it to see the other fights under it, honestly. Because we pretty much assume you're going to beat Buddy. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like they're smart business, man. They already knew we can't just have Crawford on here like Ryan and Devin and then nobody else. If you just had Crawford and, like you said, man, that's 30,000 buys. Easy. Y'all want to talk to 30,000. Nobody watching that, man.
Hey, you're right on that, man. So, once again, shout out to your excellence. You know, that was definitely a Trump move. You know, I appreciate him coming in, boxing, saving it. It looks like he's almost coming at this like a Dana White for these boys. You know, he's bringing them all together and putting these big fights together. So,
hey, you crazy.
If he's going to do that, I'll call him Dana.
Crazy. We gonna call him Dana White, Turkey Ashi, a.k.a. Dana White of boxing up. But to me, he's cleaning boxing up. So, and like, no disrespect when I say this, but I'm gonna just call him the janitor, because he's coming through, cleaning up all that mess that's been laying around the table. He's putting fighters in the ring that need to be in the ring, and he's setting up potential unifications and undisputed fights. How can you be mad? And he's putting the money out there. He's putting money in promoters' pockets and the fighters' pockets. How do we lose? How does boxing lose right now? Can't.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. Definitely all for it. I think we touched based on mostly everything we wanted to touch on, man. Anything else you want to jump into, give a quick dive into before we get out of here in a couple minutes?
I mean, like I said, outside of Virgil Ortiz's performance last night with that first round stoppage, and the man really not having no boxing opponent that could last longer than a round or two in the last 3.5 years. And stuff like man, I can't wait to see him in the Tim Tszyu fight. I feel like that's gonna be a bar burner right there, boy. That's gonna be war right there at its finest. And I just want to see where Virgil sits, because I feel like 154 is his home. He couldn't figure out if his home was 147. It's several fights where him and Crawford was supposed to match up, where he missed weights or mandatories was taken, or he gave away a mandatory because he couldn't make the weight. So, like, I'm loving this right here. It's going to set it up. So, yeah, outside of that, that's all I want to touch on.
Hey, Virgil did show his ass last night. I mean, first round body stoppage. He was fighting Thomas Delorme. Delorme's best days are definitely past him. The last time I remember him really being relevant was when he fought Bud Crawford at 140. He did fight Jerron Ennis, and he was a gatekeeper fight, and Jerron got him out of there pretty early. Wasn't even a contest, so it wasn't the opponent I wanted to see from Virgil, but he did what he was supposed to do. He got him out of there early, didn't take any damage, and right in line, like you say, for this Tim Tszyu fight, man, that's gonna be goddamn fireworks, man. That very well might be the best fight on that card at the end of the day.
Yeah, easily, man. Because I know what to expect with that. I know what to expect. I expect high punch output and banging. Ain't no back foot stuff. Ain't none of that going on in that fight. I'm gonna tell you, that's how it's gonna be, boys. That's gonna end up in the stoppage, or it's going 12 in a great entertaining 12.
Hey, I'm with it, big dog. I mean, boxing, man, like, it's fire right now. If you're a casual fan, tune in to our show, man. We're gonna definitely give you all the updates. Tune in to boxing every Saturday. Sometimes we'll be getting some weak fights. Amazon's about to get it popping. The Zone's got some lit cards coming up. Hopefully Top Rank can throw some lit cards in there as well. So, boxing is just in a good place, man. But before we go too far, before we get out of here, man, one more time, I got to show a little bit of love. One more again, so before we get out of here, let's see what that handy pack one more time.
They didn't think that I would win, but I won. They didn't think that I would win, but I won. I got in there and got the job done. I'm the best in the world, #1. Got that handy pack flowing in my lungs. Really gave that boy some beats, he my son. He was asleep on the ground, he did not respond. Called an ambulance.
Hey, man.
They didn't think that I would win.
Hey, man, real talk, though, man. At the end of the day, what Ryan has did for boxing, man, real talk, the last 2 years, the impact him, Tank, and Devin Haney has had on boxing and the eyes they brought to boxing, they need to be bigged up right now, because I don't know if people realize this right now, but we're watching some of the greats of this era. While y'all are down talking them or hyping your man up and all, we're watching the greats of this era. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Hey, 1000%, big dog. And one last time to the people out there, man, if y'all like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can get at me on @SlugFest boxing_4. And also, Rich, if you put your handle out there on Twitter, I think you're new to Twitter, so the people can get at you, comment with you. What's your handle on Twitter?
Man, I don't even know right now, man.
I think it's just look for him @RichBoxing on Twitter.
It might be @RichBoxing. It might be @RichBoxing or @RichBoxing86 or RichBoxing_86. But and next episode, I'll make sure I let y'all know exactly what it is for y'all to tune in, like, subscribe, do the content.
Oh yeah, he just now getting into the into the internet world, and I'm getting in my head into the social media. So, like you say, next Sunday we'll have the exacts for y'all. But last thing, I want to shout out Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. You know, still appreciate to be a part of the family. Come check us out. We'll be back next Sunday. Sorry for the delay. Today we were supposed to go live at 2 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Mountain Time. Had some technical difficulties that made us go a little bit later, but we definitely appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next Sunday. We'll talk about the aftermath of the Canelo Munguia fight and what boxing has next. And with that, I'm out, big dog.
All right, man.